Hey guys, and welcome back to Creative Funk. Today we're making these really simple little wire wrapped earring designs. So that first one with just a round bead, and then this one here we've got a little amethyst point in there as well. So really simple designs. This one here I've just put onto a little sleeper as well, so it's up to you what sort of size you put them on. So for the points you want two that are quite similar size and preferably not too heavy. And then I've just got two 8mm hematite beads. So to start with, we are using 20 gauge dead soft silver wire. For the small ones, the little 8mm beads, we're going to use 3 inches of wire. If you're using slightly bigger beads or smaller beads, you might be able to adjust that length. So to start with, we make our bail, which is just done by leaving a little bit at the top and then wrapping the rest around. I'm using our pliers there, so we wrap it around 2 times, and then just with that little tail that you left straight at the end, we just want to turn that around the other piece of wire. So once you've got that around that piece of wire, you can clamp it down, and then that will be your bails secured. So then you can straighten up your loop for your bail and just make sure they're sitting nicely next to each other and are nice and round. Then we just pop our bead onto the beading wire. So you just bend it in a way that you're going to be able to get your bail up to the middle of the bead. So just sort of side on, just bending that. And then just bending the other side of the wire as well, so that it meets up at the bail, and then you can start wrapping it around. So just wrap it around the bottom of the bail a couple of times to cover that area nicely and sort of give it a finished look. When you're happy with how many times it's wrapped around, you can just cut that little tail off and use your pliers to tuck it in. Make sure there's no sharp pieces pointing out or anything. Then checking your loops again, just making sure that the wire's on there nice and tight. You don't want the bead flopping around, so if it's not tight, you can just turn your bail a little bit. Then we can just pop it on our little earring. There are plenty of other video tutorials on how to make these, so they're just either DIY earrings or wine charms. And there's our first cute little wire wrapped design with a round bead. And now we'll move on to the amethyst point. So for these ones, I find the size that they need about 8 inches of wire. So again, you might need slightly more or slightly less depending on what you're wrapping. And then start by making your bail, leaving that first little tail part straight and wrapping it around 2 times. Then just bringing that piece of wire around to secure your bail. Check your loops as well again, just make sure they're nice and straight and you're happy with them. And then grab your crystal and just sort of figure out which side you want the horizontal part of your wire to be. And then you're sort of bending the bail at the top just to be over the middle a little bit of the crystal. And then this bottom part of the crystal does need a loop around it just to hold the crystal in place. I like to just pop that on first while you're holding the wire. And then we're just wrapping that around a couple of times. Depends on how big your crystal is and how long your wire is, but you want to end it so that it's coming up the other side of the crystal and then can meet up with your bail. You do want to make sure that your wires are pulled nice and tight so that crystal hasn't got any movement. And then when you're happy with it, just wrapping it around your bail. And once you've got it around enough, you just snip that little tail off and then make sure that it's tucked in nice and tight. Alright, so then again just checking your bail and loops, making sure everything's all aligned and how you like it. Now you want to just really make sure that that crystal is in there nice and securely, that it's not wobbling or got any movement or anything like that. And then if you're happy with it, you can pop it on your earring wire. And there you have it. There's your two different wire wrapped earrings.